I remember when Saka broke out into the scene as a left back.
Yeah, he's a left back.
I remember those days, and when I seen him go to right wing, I'm like, what? But like, he went off.
Usually, it used to only be United who used to get that kind of time.
that's what happened to me.
It's hard to replace Herdman. I'm pretty sure he had double the wins than he had losses, and he brought it to our first World Cup. First place in the qualifyings.
Neymar leaving Europe. It's the last of a dying breed. It's someone with flair, individuality, talent, skill, who will pull out a rainbow out of his ass. I mean, you see it. You look at a rainbow now, you're gonna get a yellow card.
What's good, Footy Culture fam? My name is Matthews, aka Matt, aka Matozinho, and today, coming at y'all with another episode of the Footy Culture Podcast. As you can see to my right, we got a special guest. We got a man like Balraj in the studio.
What's going on?
What's up? And then we got the other boys like you, Jay.
What's going on, fellas? Happy to be here.
Got Chris.
What's up?
And James and Dan.
How's it going, everyone? Classic cleanup crew. Classic. We're back.
We're back. But yeah, boys, Premier League. Let's get right into it. I know you're an Arsenal fan. Just want a quick little summary of the game, quick before we get into some stuff.
Yeah, well, you want the live play-by-play? I mean, we ended it as a draw. Hate ending it as a draw. All FIFA fans will know that. Terrible option. I should never have that option. But honestly, I liked the experimentation. Obviously, it didn't work. Mm-hmm. So I know a lot of people are impatient about that and a little bit anxious about it. But I like what they're trying to do. Obviously, like we've got that injury to Jurrien Timber, but you just can never let a goal in 5 minutes before the end of the game. No, when you're up by a man. So there's no excuse for that. We came back, we did our job, but the end result was just a complete lack of concentration. So, all in all, I'm glad we came back. Momentum was all on our end, and then we just let a soft goal in. So, yeah, really sucked to see that. I like the fight from the team. I think we've already proven that, but yeah, it was just hard to see that and then see all the other top six clubs come back and win, whether they were down a man or whether they weren't. So it kind of sucked. But what can you do, man? We're going to win some, lose some. Hopefully we learn from it and we don't do that at the end of the season.
For sure.
I'd rather have it at the beginning. So,
Are you satisfied with the new signings so far? Particularly Declan Rice?
Yeah, I mean, the game against Crystal Palace, he killed it. Mm-hmm. He killed it. Like, he was the main guy. I think he didn't have as good of a game, in my opinion, against Fulham, but the system, I think, what they were trying in the Fulham game was a bit different, but I'm really happy with them. Havertz, I think the jury's still up, but I'm gonna give it a few more games. I mean, everyone will remember it took Henry, I think, 7-8 games before he started scoring, so we'll give him a time. I'm not comparing Havertz to Henry, obviously, but yeah, I think give him some time. Let's give the system some time and see, but I think they're trying to create space with him, but Jurrien Timber just really sucks. We all spoke about it a couple of weeks ago. Everyone was really excited about him, but it really sucks that he got injured. I feel for him and I feel for the team. So hopefully we make a couple of signings that can kind of help us out a little bit. But yeah, pretty happy with what they're doing.
It's weird. I feel like whenever there's new signings for Arsenal, there's always so much more pressure put on them, especially from the media side. I saw a major outlet like Bleacher Report, they were blasting Havertz. I think today you showed us the tweet a little earlier.
They're saying talentless Ozil.
That's crazy.
Who isn't blasting Havertz though? You know what I mean?
Is he playing the right position though? Because they're playing him as more like a center mid kind of, right?
Yeah,
I think some people say he's more of a center forward.
Yeah, I think with this inverted roles that they're doing, they're trying to play down the middle, so they're creating a lot of overloads in the middle. But is it the right position? Clearly, right now, it doesn't seem that way.
Right.
So let's see. I mean, I trust Arteta, like I said in the last pod. I trust him to get the best out of Havertz, and maybe this is the best out of Havertz, and that will suck. But maybe it's not. Let's see what happens. And I think not having Jurrien Timber on that same side does change things, because usually he'd be the one inverting, and it wouldn't be Partey necessarily. So you would have more stability, and he could go free and go a little crazy in the top of the third. But I'm no pundit, I'm just kind of observing and kind of.
We're just amateurs here.
Yeah, exactly. But No, like I'm still happy. Like he performed well in the preseason, and let's just see what happens, man. It's still 3 games in. Like it's really early, and we need the bodies. Like Champions League's coming, the draw's coming up on Thursday. We're gonna need the bodies. We needed depth. We got depth, and we're good to go.
Okay. Yes or no question. Are you taking Ivan Toney in January?
It doesn't hurt. Doesn't hurt taking him in January. I think he's a great striker. Let's just hope he forgot his password on his betting account, and we'll be good to go. But yeah, I mean, we need a striker. Like we need a striker.
Yeah,
we need someone who's direct. So I would take him. I mean, he's a proven striker. He's now an England international. But I'd take him. I'd give it a shot. Why not? Like, we're giving Havertz a shot. We're giving, you know what I mean? So
there's not that many options either. So it's kind of the only option you guys have. I can't really think of another one.
I mean, Arsenal already have Nketiah and Jesus as well, who could play striker. What's gonna happen to them if they?
Okay, but Jesus is kind of injury prone, and he's not a natural out and out 9.
yeah, we need an out and out striker. Nketiah is great, but I like Nketiah, but we do need another option.
And Tony is 20 goals proven in the Prem.
Exactly.
That's not easy.
And for not that good of a side, so that helps. Yeah, I think he'd be good on Arsenal. Havertz, I don't know if he's a center mid though. I know he's like a more of attacking center mid, but like he doesn't. When I see him, he doesn't really have a position. Like when I don't know what position he plays. Like he's striker for Chelsea. I'm pretty sure he played most of his career on when he played for Leverkusen. He was a cam, and now he's playing center mid. Like he's usually all over the place. I don't know. Havertz is tricky for me. I don't know if he's going to thrive at Arsenal.
The expectation of Havertz scoring like 20 goals like he did in the Bundesliga, like you can't have the same expectations in the Premier League. Like I'm okay if he scores like 10 goals, in the Prem League, but create something to, help the team out. Like that's all valuable, but you're right. Like I don't know about that. Let's just see what happens,
Yeah, I agree.
Is Bukayo Saka the best winger in the world?
Careful.
There's a lot of good
Be
wingers.
careful.
in the world. I don't know about
In
the
his
world.
position, I think so.
Right wing?
I think so. I think so.
He might be. I mean, Rodrigo. That's the only other guy I could think of right now. At right wing.
Diaby, it's good too.
No, I think out and out best striker. I mean, he got that goal against in the first game of the season. Who did we play in the first game of the season? I can't remember now. It's been a minute here, but that goal where he was getting pushed over and he that was the biggest gripe on Saka, like small guy getting pushed. That goal just sealed it for me. Like I was like I wasn't sold on it 100%, but after that goal, I was like, this guy is the real deal, man. Real deal.
Actually, I have a player that comes close. Anthony.
What?
Stop that, bro. That's a joke.
Nah, yeah,
Maybe the
he's got
first
it.
game he played, but after that, I don't know.
No, hey, I can't name many better wingers right now. And the development's been crazy. I remember when Saka broke out into the scene as a left back.
Yeah, he's a left back. man.
I remember those days, and when I seen him go to right wing, I'm like, what? But he went off, and look at him now.
Good for him, right?
Yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead. No.
I have a completely different question, but you go ahead.
I was just saying, one thing that I think Arsenal's doing better than any other club is they're signing Premier League proven players and they're growing Premier League players. And that, I think, counts for a lot. So I don't want to necessarily have a striker coming from outside. I want Premier League proven players. The priority is the Premier League. So if they can continue doing that and getting the best out of those players, let's go with it, man. And I think that's key. That's all I want to say.
So you wouldn't take a Jonathan David at Arsenal?
Ooh.
Yeah, maybe I was on that Jonathan David train last year, definitely with Canada playing so well and him playing so well. I mean, I would take him, but I don't see an improvement. Like I don't necessarily see a lift on Nketiah for Jonathan David because I think he'd be played as sparingly. But when you have a guy who's proven to score 20 goals in the Premier League, you need to play him. You need to start him in a lot of games, right? So it's a bit of a different. You're seeing with Flo Balogun, right? He scored. He was fourth or fifth leading scorer in French league.
Yeah, you went
Not
off.
sure, yeah.
And he's not $100 million striker. Like it's slim pickings out there for him. I thought everyone would be over him. You know what I mean? But man,
It's not every top player can adjust to every league. Now, Jonathan David, I don't think he would adjust to the Premier League, in my opinion.
You don't think so?
I think he'd adjust to like a Bundesliga or a Serie A, where it's kind of slower pace. I know Bundesliga is a little faster than Serie A, but I don't know. I think the too fast of pace, and he has to play with a second striker usually. So they don't play with a second striker, which he's kind of like a Gabriel Jesus. So I don't really see an upgrade there. I still say Ivan Toney. I would say Ivan Toney is the best option easily.
Interesting. So we're talking about Premier League proven. I want you guys start one, bench one, sell one. Rodri, Rice, Enzo Fernandez.
I'll go first. So I'm selling Enzo.
Selling Enzo?
I'm benching Rice, and I'm starting Rodri. Rodri, after what I've seen this weekend and the tail end of last season, he's bloody world class. The fact that he's scoring goals now and like bangers is ridiculous. He's a fantastic player, and no IG, no tattoos. He just plays ball. That's it.
So kind of like Busquets then.
Yeah.
No IG, no tattoos.
No, he's got IG
straight
now.
ball.
He got IG.
Well, after how many years?
It took some time, but he's on it.
From Miami, man.
All right, so I'm next. I think I'll go. I mean, I think I'll mirror yours. After what I saw Rodri do, like he was in my fantasy. I love Rice, not in my fantasy. I think Rice is amazing, but yeah, sell Enzo, bench Rice, and start Rodri. At this point in time, no one better.
Yeah. Agreed, to be fair, but then again, these guys like Rice and Enzo, they have the potential to be better, possibly, right? But at this point in time, it's what you guys both said.
No love for Enzo. You're gonna put Enzo.
I got love for Enzo. I think Enzo's better than Declan Rice, in my opinion.
Really?
Enzo's a World Cup winner, first of all. He's younger. I think he has more potential. You've seen what he did to this Chelsea midfield. They had a shitbox midfield. He's the only one doing anything for that team. And I don't know. I think he's better, personally. He has more potential to get better. I don't think any of them will get to the point where Rodri is at, because he's right now the best in the world.
Yeah.
I don't think either of them could be the best in the world. But
You never know.
for a second, I got Enzo.
Interesting. How about you guys?
I think the same.
How about you, Cookie Boys?
Same as what?
Same as Jay.
Yeah, me
Same
too.
as
I
Jay.
got Rodri first, Rice second for now, and then Fernandez
tossing.
third.
Hey, everyone doesn't have to choose Rice that high just because Balraj is here. Eh?
Nah.
No, I've been reading Rice, to be fair.
I haven't been
All
rating
great
Rice,
players.
but I also don't think Enzo's shown as much as Rice just yet.
Yeah, he's
He hasn't shown as much.
new
Yeah.
to the league.
New to the league, that's the thing. But
Like he was great in the World Cup, but that midfield just worked very, very well together.
Yeah.
I think.
Do you guys remember James Rodriguez? Like how great he was in the World Cup?
Yeah.
He made
Yeah.
the shift to. He played for after the World Cup. He played for United. I think he played for Madrid, and he played for Bayern. And like he was just getting shipped around everywhere. I mean, a great player, but like just couldn't figure it out.
No.
Like he just couldn't figure it out.
Just World
Like,
Cup tax, man.
Yeah.
I think that the problem with that was we were starting to see the end of the number 10 role,
That too, yeah.
because he was still good for Bayern, like when he came on.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like him, Ozil. They phased out at the same time. Pretty much.
Yeah.
It's like after like 2018, like 10s were gone.
Yeah.
Low key.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's too much of his skill level that was his fault, but it was more so like the tactics. The tactics helped hurt him a lot.
Yeah. Game changed, right?
Yeah, big time. I have a question about the game changing, because I heard you say this at the beginning that you don't like ties.
Yeah.
I had to ask this. Why don't you like ties?
What, do you have a solution for that?
No, I mean, I think I don't like ties in the sense that like it just feel like every time like Arsenal draws, it feels like a loss. Every single time it's been that way. Apart from the one game against Southampton, but even that one felt like a loss at the stage of the we came back, but at the stage of the season.
Would you take them out if you had the choice? Take out ties and make it maybe add more time?
I mean, I think they're doing that right now, right? Like, I mean, think of how many late goal winners we've seen. I think we're on that path. But no, I mean, I think ties are an important part of the game. I think keep them in there. But I do like what they're doing with the real. I think your point is, are you trying to lead to that point where like they're adding all this extra time? I like it. I think it stops time wasting. I think that if you're gonna time waste, you get penalized for it.
Yeah, I like that.
And I think it's great. To be honest, I watched. You can't catch every single game on the weekend, but I tend to watch really every single game right now because you never know what's going to happen. The World Cup was proof of that too, right?
Yeah.
That's true.
Holy smokes, what an exciting time it is. Like, you know, I mean, I think 10 minutes, 12 minutes is a little too much.
Seeing that much time
But, like,
added on is
you know,
crazy.
Especially when you're up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Usually it used to only be United who used to get that kind of time.
that's what happened to us.
Fergie time.
We were up this weekend 3-2, coming back from a 2-0 down, and we saw 11 minutes. I'm like, shit, we're up,
I
man.
know.
We're getting
Time's
Fergie
back,
time
baby.
done.
I know.
But
It's like, yo, you're only supposed to do that when we're losing or when we need to win. But no, I like it. I like it. I
yeah,
like
it's exciting. I like
makes
it.
it
I like it where the players are getting penalized because honestly, you can't. No time wasting.
Yeah.
No time wasting. It slows the game down, and it's kind of like it annoys the fan base a little bit. Like you're watching at home, like this guy time wasting all this stuff. It's like get on with it. But it's funny to see now the refs giving these guys the yellows, and these guys are like, "What? I didn't do anything. Like, I'm here." Like, but hey, it's part of football. You got to move on. Let's go.
Yeah, and sometimes the wrong guy gets the yellow, like Tomiyasu against Crystal Palace. Still on that. But are you guys seeing, like, what do you guys see? Like, are you seeing players behave differently because of this? Do you guys generally see that? Or do you think it's kind of the same?
I think it's gonna be a slow thing. Like they're gonna slowly start realizing that they're gonna get penalized every single time.
I think they're starting to realize now. I'm seeing it. I think I'm seeing it because I'm seeing players move like not a lot more time wasting anymore.
They're just leaving the ball. They're not kicking it away.
Yeah, like even like there's moments where some players will kick the ball in, like they'll instantly just straight yellows.
Yeah.
And like there's no hesitation from the refs. Anything. Even when players will get dropped and get fouled, but they're the ones complaining, hey, give them a yellow. Those guys are getting yellow cards too. And like these guys have to just be quiet because that's the rule now. You can't speak to the refs. It's a little annoying because at the end of the day, like who's making the money here?
Exactly.
Right? Like we're making the big bucks. We're the ones the fans are coming here to watch us. Like don't make this about you kind of thing to the refs.
Yeah.
Because sometimes they're like controlling the game a little too much, where it gets a little annoying because keep the ball moving, keep the play going. But I get it. Like these players sometimes you just need to be quiet and let the game go.
Yeah,
right. So.
Sure.
Like I haven't noticed like a massive difference yet, but slowly, like I kind of see like a little bit,
I mean, because the mentality always used to be, no matter what I do, it's gonna be 3 minutes at a time.
Yeah.
That's just kind of what the average and the classic was. But hey, now that they actually got a stopwatch at the touchline, they're actually like counting what's happening. It's serious now. So no, I like the shift.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to touch on though the other side of North London a little bit. Spurs, great start to the season so far. I believe they're on 2 wins and 1 draw.
Yeah.
So they're having a great season without their talisman, superstar Harry Kane. Crazy, right? But I want to pose a question. There's this theory called the Ewing theory. I'm not sure if you've heard of it, but basically the superstar of the team, the guy that carries the team, once they leave, the team tends to improve, play better, be a better team. Is that what's happening with Tottenham? Are they better off without Harry Kane?
Yes.
I think it's still too early to say. We're only 3 games into the season. A lot of people also play the new manager tax into it, saying like, oh, players want to perform because the new manager's in. They got to prove themselves. Everyone's on a clean slate, right? So it might be that as well too. Again, tough to say because it's only been 3 games, but we'll see as the season unfolds.
I think they have gotten better because you could literally see just by the way they're playing, they have like so much more heart for some reason.
Yeah.
They're literally going like 100%. Like if you see their after their last game, their team rating, everyone was over I think like a 7.5. Besides Richarlison, so like a 4 or something. But other than him, it shows like how well these guys are playing. They have Emerson playing in the midfield at times, and then they're Romero and Van de Ven have been absolute class. That's a good partnership, and that's a partnership to watch out for because they're strong out there. But I don't know, they got better in my opinion. Son's playing. It looks like he's back, even though he hasn't put up any GA really. But he looks good
I
again.
don't know if he's back, man.
He's good. He looks good again. I think he's gonna start getting GA soon.
The armband looks good on him.
Yeah.
It does.
I mean, I think like I mean, I was telling all my friends like this over the weekend. Like, I hate to say it, but Tottenham do look good. Like, and it's funny. Like, even non-Tottenham fans were sending me, probably because I'm an Arsenal fan, were sending me texts like, "Yo, Tottenham look good this year. Tottenham. I mean, we're not competing with Tottenham right now, bro. But like, how maybe." Like, I just think, I agree with you. I actually think Kane should have left when when Poch left. I actually think around that time, like that was his peak. England would have, he deserved to play at a top club.
Yeah,
It's a little too late right now, in my opinion, because by the next World Cup, he's gonna be quite old, and I think other people will be knocking on the door. But yeah, man, I think he should have left at that time. Like the market would have been amazing. I mean, Mourinho came in, that you could have maybe seen something happen there, but yeah, Tottenham have responded well traditionally when their top guys have gone.
Yeah.
And they just needed to recognize. I actually don't think it was Tottenham that didn't want to sell Kane. I think Kane kind of wanted to stay, and he was kind of comfortable, man. Like I think he was kind of comfortable. Like he had his spot. He had what he knew what he was gonna get, but. I think they're way better. Like Madison looks like rejuvenated. You know, he had. I think he had some chances to go to Chelsea too. I think he knew a lot of people there and whatnot. But he looks amazing right now, like better than he did at Leicester. So I think it's going to be a team to watch for sure.
Yeah. And another thing, Basuma and Sarr, the way they are bossing this midfield.
Yeah.
Holy, there's CDMs. I didn't expect Basuma to have a comeback season.
They're a little scary than the there, especially against United.
Yeah,
they were good.
Sarr is lanky. He literally gets onto everything.
Yeah.
And then Basuma can control a game like literally any other player in the Prem.
Yeah.
They slow it down.
Yeah, they have
to see.
I forgot they had Basuma, man. I forgot they had Basuma.
He was a talented player. Besides, Højbjerg took him out of the team last year.
Right.
But now it looks like they're trying to get Højbjerg out the door.
They're getting rid of like the older guys.
Yeah.
Like,
Even their goalie too.
Now he's doing really well on the wing.
Yeah.
You know, even the left side. Who's playing there?
Udoji.
He's
another good player.
Yeah. So like honestly, surprisingly, Spurs came out of nowhere with like.
Yeah.
Well, I'm looking
this
at their
season.
11 right now. It's like only players from like their 11 now that were starting probably last season: Romero, Son, and Kulu.
Yeah.
Like Richarlison wasn't starting last year. Madison wasn't there. Bissouma and Sarr weren't starting.
Yeah.
New left back, new left center back, new right back, new goalie too. Vicario in that as well,
Bit of an overhaul, yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So
Kind of low key, to be honest.
low key overhaul. Yeah.
They had band-aid solutions, man. Like Mourinho was a band-aid solution. Clearly, they just wanted to try to get a trophy, the best out of what they could get. I think Conte was a band-aid solution.
Yeah.
Attract some, fancy players and things like
Yeah.
that. Didn't work. It just doesn't work. If you're gonna rebuild. You know, move on.
Yeah, they went abroad to get a coach as well. So,
Yeah.
and his tactics look great right now for Spurs. So
Solid, yeah.
Top four looking a little spicy now. Looking at it at the beginning of the first three games.
Let's not get too ahead of ourselves. guys.
Are Spurs gonna finish ahead of
It's
Arsenal? or what?
Spurs. They're very Spursy. Like it's still Spurs. Like don't get it twisted.
No, I think seeing a team thrive in this kind of situation, I think it comes down to two factors. One, freedom. Because look, that guy's not there anymore. The ball doesn't have to go through him every time. Other
100%.
players have the chance to succeed and
Exactly.
thrive. And also accountability. Because when you have a superstar main man like that, he's going to get all the media backlash. He's going to get all the pressure, especially as captain. And now other players are having to feel a little accountable for their actions, for their role, and having to thrive, right? So I could see them having a good season.
Yeah, possibly.
you think they're kind of in like this Arsenal phase where when they first got Arteta? So they're gonna have like a decent season, not top four, but Europa League, but like within years to come, they might be like a contender.
I can see like a slow climb up for them.
No, I feel like it's gonna be a fight near the end of the season, man.
You think they make
somehow
up?
I feel like the end of the season is gonna come down to the last like 2-3 games.
Really?
Top
Or
four.
top four?
Yeah, I feel it. Chelsea too. Like Chelsea, as much as they're still kind of like getting their things together, they're like the last game was doing
They're
really
slowly
well.
getting better, yeah.
They're doing really well. City, United too. Like sure, they have their bad games, they have their good games. Like last game too. Like sure, they start off a little slow. They're still kind of. I feel like United are the team that's a little bit suffering right now from the top like 6. Like Spurs, like they have their groove on. Like they're moving now. They're going forward. Arsenal too. Like the first game, sure, whatever. But again, they're moving forward. It's kind of like United's kind of like still figuring their stuff out.
And
Or
Liverpool a little bit.
Liverpool, but even then, that last game.
Liverpool are undefeated, man. Two
Yeah, I
wins
know,
and a
but
tie.
like they're shaky.
But
They're not winning.
if they lose Salah, then like that's something that's gonna be like that.
I don't think they're gonna lose Salah. I don't.
You
Think,
think so?
I think he's gone maybe next year. maybe not this
162 million though. If they're offering that, you don't
Really?
take
That
it.
much?
That's what I saw.
They don't think they have time to replace him though.
No,
now
chance.
That's the
problem.
biggest
The window's
thing.
almost done.
Yeah.
They
Unless
need to
they get,
make.
like-
I think the club needs to make Champions League. Otherwise,
He's
it's
gone.
gonna be a disaster.
They probably lose more money than they're gonna make off Salah if they don't make Champions League.
Oh, for sure.
They'll still command a big fee. Like next year, I think next year you're gonna see an unprecedented amount of people going to Saudi. Like, actually, you know what? Even January could be something too.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Heck, I might go too.
I know, man. trying to get a Saudi contract out here.
Yeah.
Man. Like, let's
The
go.
money's there. We don't care, right?
Yeah,
That's crazy saying.
I know.
But speaking of Liverpool, a lot of fans were applauding Alisson for his heroics and his performance. And I saw a question people were tossing around on Twitter. Start one, bench one, sell one. Alisson, check. Peter Schmeichel.
Alisson, check. Peter Schmeichel.
Oh shit.
Are you considering these as the best Premier League keepers?
That's what the question was basically
Do you think so?
posing. Do I think so? Who else could sneak in there, though?
Van der Sar maybe.
Van der Sar's a shout for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Some say over Peter, maybe.
Either way.
Out of those three, start one, bench one, sell one.
I mean, Alisson has won a lot.
What? No Joe Hart shout?
Oh, hard? I don't know.
Jens Lehmann, man.
Yeah, him too.
maybe.
David
Almunia?
Almunia, bro.
No, okay. For me, it's like Czech. Czech is big nostalgia. Like he was Chelsea for so long. He had the helmet, so he has the marketing, right? A lot of the kids know Czech, but Alisson is just such a good shot stopper. And Schmeichel was in that golden era Man United. Obviously, I wasn't watching live at that time, but you obviously know like the pedigree that he brings. Ooh, I don't know. It's tough. I don't mind putting Alisson at the top of the top because, you know, he transcended that Liverpool side. When he got to Liverpool alongside Van Dijk,
Yeah, team changed.
he's the catalyst. A lot of people say it's Van Dijk over Alisson that's the catalyst, but you could also argue Alisson's the catalyst for that change.
Yeah.
Because who was at the helm before him? Karius, and they weren't moving forward with Karius. Mignolet, who was okay, very inconsistent, but Alisson, a world-class keeper that came in, changed Liverpool Football Club. So I'm gonna give him his flowers.
Okay.
I wouldn't say without Alisson is. I would say Alisson is as important as Van Dijk because that year that Van Dijk got injured, Alisson had a bad year that year. So Van Dijk in that squad means
Alisson also get injured that year?
yeah, but when he played, he didn't look like Alisson. What either way, I put Czech, Alisson, Schmeichel.
Okay, interesting. I think Alisson and Czech are a little interchangeable for me. I think depending on the day, I'd have Czech because of, I don't know, nostalgia factor maybe, and how he's just a legend in the Prem. But like what Jay was saying, what Alisson did for Liverpool when him and Van Dijk came, can't forget about that, right? So I don't know. I'll have Czech first over Alisson and then Schmeichel last.
Yeah.
Sell him.
I don't know. I watch those. I watched United in the 90s. I'll tell you right now, Schmeichel takes the top right now, in my opinion.
I like that. I like it, man.
I'm giving so many props to what is this, man? Like giving props to like Tottenham here.
This was a
giving
setup.
props to United. This is a setup. Over
setting
here,
you
you
up.
know? But no, I mean, look, Schmeichel was the cornerstone, the last stop of that United team. Like, I hate to say it, but like they were like they're the Montreal Canadiens in the National Hockey League, right? They were the dynasty of the Premier League, and he was the back. He was the last piece of defense, and they were very successful, man. Like, you forget that's like I think what it was 13 years at the top. Like, you cannot substitute that. I'm sorry, but I think they should have had more Champions Leagues during that time. But the first to win the treble. A national team probably couldn't do what he could for the World Cup, but yeah, Peter Schmeichel. And you see the pedigree in that family too. Like his son Casper is amazing as well, and didn't reach those heights, but for a little while there with Leicester, he was killing it. Like, doesn't say anything about Peter, but I think like when you see him in the interviews, he's such a character guy. I think he adds more than just being the keeper to a club. I know Czech firsthand. He came to Arsenal. Some will say past his prime, but like, I don't know. I don't think Czech is up there for me. But Alisson for sure is. I think, but the goalkeeper role has changed too.
Yeah.
So like you got to kind of take that into account. But I think Schmeichel, like proven, all day, I'll take him.
Benching Alisson then?
I'll just bench Czech because didn't rate what he did at Arsenal, so I'll bench it. No, but I rate Alisson more than Czech for sure. Yeah.
Okay, interesting.
What do you think?
I got Czech first, Schmeichel second, Alisson third. I think Alisson, we're getting maybe a little bit of recency bias, a little bit there. And I think Cech was tough because, like you mentioned, the goalkeeper position changed. I think right as Cech he was still playing. He was in the middle of his career, and it went from all of a sudden keepers just had to stop shots. Now all of a sudden keepers need to play the ball, and I think that's where Cech really struggled. You saw him at Arsenal trying to play the ball, and that's where he had so many howlers. Passing the ball to the other team, like couldn't play the ball at the back, and I think that's maybe why his career maybe got a little bit tainted from that time at Arsenal, just because he wasn't the same as he was before. But I think like from a longevity perspective, he has like one of the most caps in the Prem as well. He really did it for a long time. I think Alisson had a very high peak, but I don't think he's done it for long enough to be with those big boys just yet. So I'm going to go Cech first, Schmeichel second, and Alisson third for now.
Okay.
Yeah.
You said Cech first?
Yeah.
I'm going to swap Schmeichel. Schmeichel first, Cech. Bench, selling Alisson. Just saying.
So you had Peter Schmeichel first. Would you say he's better than Neuer?
Oh, that's tough. I mean, all these keepers, they have such good defense in front of them too. Neuer, like the players you hear people speak less of are usually the players who are the best. You know what I mean? In a sense, because you don't hear whether they do anything crazy good. You don't hear whether they do anything crazy bad. So I think Neuer is probably the most dependable. I would say Neuer is the most dependable because his longevity and what he's done for club and country. And I think it's unique. Like these guys they're like one club goalies. I think for most part, right? Which is interesting to think the ones that we're choosing here. But I think you got to rate Buffon too. Got to put Buffon in here because he probably is just everyone knows when you think goalkeeper, you think Buffon, right?
For sure. No CL though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
He got the World Cup. That's all that
Stuck with
matters.
us, that's what happens.
Yeah. But yeah, that's my.
I think Schmeichel also won a Euro with Denmark in '92.
Yeah, 92, I believe, right?
So
Yeah.
There you go.
some international
I
pedigree.
clearly
there.
didn't. That was 1 year I stopped watching, I guess. 1 year.
But no, something I want to highlight. So City signed Doku, right?
Yeah.
Great player, great talent, and all you hear around is like classic City. Like they find the perfect player to replace the guy that left, like Mars, right?
Yeah.
What? But like, why can't other clubs in the Prem make these perfect signings? Like, why not? Everyone else has the funds too.
Are Chelsea not? They're spending a lot of money.
Yeah, but like
Perfect.
perfect signings.
They don't have anyone to replace though. Like they literally just wash their whole team. You can't really replace a team with. You can't replace shit with shit. Like that's.
So who was the Shu and Kante replacement? Enzo?
I guess it was Enzo.
Okay.
But like it wasn't deemed as like the perfect replacement. Like he just won a World Cup, but like he still had a lot to prove because he's still young.
Like what? Basically, all I'm saying is why are City so much better than everyone else at signing great role players?
Trouble factor.
Great back end staff. Too.
Yeah, they have great
know what they're
scouts,
doing, right?
and they have a great. I think they're just very well run. Like I think everyone talks about how much money they spend, sure, but they're like probably one of the best run clubs in football. Like their academy's great. Like you look at all these young English players that they just come off that the Euro win, and almost half that team played for City at one point. You look at all these young talents that are going, to other clubs that are now being sold to other teams in the Premier League, like La Villa, other talents like that. These guys all came from City. They just didn't have an opportunity to play, obviously, because that team's stacked. But when it comes to transfers, like they're one of the best, if not the best. Like in the last 5 or so years, like they've just been churning. Like just talented players coming in to replace, like for like. Even now, even Kovacic coming in as well to replace Gundogan. Different type of profile, but Rodri even mentioned it. I saw there's a quote from Rodri today. Like Kovacic is like, Rodri's like Kovacic kind of like unlocked me. Because before, he's like, when I was playing with Kevin and Gundogan, he's like, I had to hold back because I knew they were going to go and do their thing. But because Kovacic plays differently, he holds back a little bit more. He recycles the ball. Rodri now has more freedom to kind of go up and contribute more to the attack. So it's like the way they just buy these players. Kovacic for 25 million too. Like who let Pep have him for 25 million?
Super cheap.
Like it's insane. When you're seeing some of the price tags that are being thrown around for some of these other players in the Prem, like 25 million for Kovacic, like
nothing, man.
It's ridiculous. But I don't know, man.
It's like it's plug and play with City.
It really is.
How are they keep getting away with this?
No FFP, man.
People are letting them. The teams in the Premier are letting them too. Like if you think about it, like there are a lot of times, like sure they make some good signings from other leagues. Like they've made great signings from the Bundesliga, great signings from Liga, and now too with Doku. But a lot of times they're buying Premier League proven players like Grealish, Premier League proven. You know, a lot of their back line as well, like Stones coming in, Premier League proven. Walker, when he came, Premier League proven as well. So I think, I don't know, they're just, it's pesky, but they're so good. And I think now that they got that Champions League hump off their back, I think there's no stopping them. Haaland looks like he's maybe starting off a little slow right now, but I think he'll snap out of it. And I think I'd be surprised if they don't go back to back for Champions League at least. Maybe they'll falter in the league a little bit, but I think for them, like, they're bored of winning the league. I think for them, their priority is going to be Champions League. They're all hungry to win that Champions League again, I think.
Yeah.
I thought the same thing as you. I don't know how they do it. Like they find these guys. He hasn't played a match and I think their recruiting goes deeper because like if you think about how they sign these guys, it happens super quick too. Like you hear the rumor and the signature is on paper like within a couple of days.
Quick,
you know, it's a very
about.
quick. So I think something more is going on behind the scenes that set them up. But yeah, I mean, because you wonder like. We need a backup for Saka. Like we need a couple of other wingers too and whatnot, right? So I'm like looking at all these players. I'm like, wow, only 35 million, only 45 million. I'm like, anyone can pick up these guys, right? But yeah, we'll see. Let's see.
It's the whole environment, right? Like people want to play for one of the best coaches in the world.
That's true too.
They want to play for City. They're winning a bunch of trophies. Like it's a win-win, right?
And they're getting paid.
And they're getting paid too, right? Why not?
Yeah, I feel like Arsenal might need a perfect replacement for someone that just signed, Timber. Because of that injury, like, do you think that they should ride out with Tomiyasu or
Tomiyasu? They've been playing Partey right back.
Or Partey, yeah. Do you want Partey there as well?
I mean, I don't know. Right now, that's a big question for me. Like, we need to do something, I think, because Kieran Tierney just left.
Yeah.
Although he wasn't used. He went to Sociedad, yeah, for a loan.
Oh, loan.
Loan, yeah. He wanted to play Champions League, so they're in Champions League this year, and it's a loan. They get a fee and he pays his wages, although not too crazy wages, but still good move for him because he wasn't getting played
at all
role.
Almost, yeah.
Yeah, and I don't think he played that inverted style role. I liked him because I thought that it added something different. Like we could play differently sometimes with him. Yeah, so I don't know. We need to solve this. Like we need to figure this out. Like I don't know if Partey's a solution.
Ben White maybe.
Ben White is the perfect right back, but I think because of the biggest question with Arsenal right now is why is Gabriel Magalhaes not playing?
Yeah.
So I'm not too sure what's happening there. I mean, I know there's like Saudi rumors, but what player doesn't have Saudi rumors? I think he's staying. I think he's just like Arteta wants him to probably play a specific way that he hasn't shown yet that he can do. So let's see. But yeah, if Magalhaes can play, then I think we're fine. If him and Saliba can play the center, I think we're okay, but we do need to figure something out there.
Arsenal, how are you guys gonna do in Champions League?
Yeah, let's find out on the draw on Thursday. I'll let you know Thursday, man. I don't know. My expectations, I hope like for sure. I think quarterfinals is where I think quarterfinals.
Sounds like a deep run.
Yeah. Yeah, I want to get out of the group stage. I think like you have to get out of the group stage to call it a success. If your Arsenal made that amount of investment, and I think we're good enough to get out of the group stage.
Yeah, it's possible.
Because like even in Europa League, like you're still playing. You're not playing your best 11 all the time.
You're rotating
even in the round of 16 and stuff.
Yeah.
So there's some weird things that can happen. And teams play differently over there, but yeah, I think quarterfinals. I would be happy if we make quarterfinals. But I don't know, man. Like when you have those young players and you get the right path and you get the right motivation, like you could go pretty far and, like kind of Cinderella type of thing. But I'm not going to get my expectations too up, but of course I want to win it. But I think we'll make the quarterfinals for sure. I think we'll get out of the group for sure.
Interesting. What do you think is more likely for Arsenal to happen? Winning the Prem or winning the UCL?
If I'm honest, I want to win the Prem because I think that would be amazing. To win the Prem is like I think the crown jewel, especially for a team like Arsenal right now. But yeah, I think that's my. What's more likely is that we'd win the Prem, I think, than the Champions League. I think Champions League, there's like, I think we still have a way to go to get out of those stages. But yeah, everyone says cups are more predictable. Cups are more unpredictable and have a better chance. But I think the way the team is built is Prem. Prem first, yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something I want to highlight. You know, we received some big news today. Very big news, especially as Canadians. Our national team gaffer, the man who brought us to a place we've never seen before, to memories we never dreamed that we'd have, has officially left Canada Soccer, John Herdman, to try to recoup what's left of Toronto FC. What do you think of the move? What are you going to remember about John Herdman in Canada?
Dude, after that speech, I hope you queued up the national anthem. I felt like we needed like I think we needed the violin playing. So that was the memories we've never seen.
Emotional.
I know. It's really like, I know, man. Shit.
I mean, he gave Canada like a bit of hope, you know? Like people saw the way Canada was playing, especially before they qualified for the World Cup. Not a lot of people were thinking Canada would qualify, right?
Yeah.
But they killed it. The qualifying stage and then the World Cup. It is what it is, you know. Not much experience there, but I don't know. I think it's tough to see Herdman leave because I don't know if they could find a better replacement, you know.
I think they have to. I think now is the time that they have to.
But
But
who?
That's the thing, right?
It's tough. There's not. Depends if they're trying to like keep it like Canadian or are they going to bring someone from abroad. I don't know what they're going to do. But I'm pretty sure like it's hard to replace Herdman. I'm pretty sure he had double the wins than he had losses, and he brought to our first World Cup. First place,
Yeah.
first place in the qualifyings. Like he's done a lot for Canada. No one realizes how, and he brought so many players to Canada.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of dual nationals, right?
Like he's done a lot for Canada. It's gonna be so hard to find someone better than him, man.
I think he did what he could for Canada, in my opinion. I don't know. I don't think I could see the team going any further tactically. I don't think the team could have tactically gone further. I think he brought a lot of emotion.
Yeah.
Like you expressed it
Yeah.
really well. Like he brought a lot of emotion. Like, and I think that drove the team forward. Kind of like Arsenal last year. Like they were just emotional. You know what I mean? They like beat Bournemouth in the last minute and they're crying. You know, it's like, guys, you know, we have bigger fish to fry here. But I think like he drove him to what he could. I don't know if TFC is the right move for him, to be honest. I mean, I think TFC need a little bit of that
Passion.
TFC needs some TLC. You know what I mean? They need, but I think he did what he could with the country, and I think the country like he proved that there's really world class talent in Canada. Mm-hmm. He's brought that world class talent, and now we need, I think, a serious coach that will. We're gonna make the World Cup next year. It's a guarantee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so we need somebody, I think, that can take us further.
Yeah.
I think that can actually get us a win. That's a better way of putting it in the World Cup.
Yeah.
Yeah, but okay, so they're also in like financial trouble, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now it's gonna be tough to find a better manager that's gonna be for around the same wage. I don't see any manager that's gonna be better than him for that price. So now we're gonna go get a guy who's unproven, and now we might take a step backwards. Or we might go to the World Cup and not even get a goal again.
Or maybe Qatar Sports Investment can buy Canada.
We need,
Yeah, you never
we need
know.
some sort of funding in this team so we could actually get going forward. There's no investments though, so
Yeah.
it's gonna be a hinder.
It's the whole organization, right? The whole
Yeah.
organization's a mess.
That's why I don't know. This can be. I don't see it. It's not a good thing for Canada at all.
Yeah, it's
my
a tough situation because at least with Herdman, like he put up with the mess that Canada Soccer was. It might be hard to find a top gaffer who's gonna deal with that, right? Because like Canada Soccer, like high up it's literally in shambles. Like it's Timbit soccer stuff, like the kind of organization that's going down there, right? So, and then finding a top gaffer in general, to come to Canada, like who's available, right?
That's the thing, right?
It's gonna be tough, right? Coming to Canada is one thing for any top gaffer, and then finding one that's just available, it's tough. But I don't know. I'm very thankful for what Herdman did because he built a culture, right?
Yeah. That's the most.
And that like you said, I also agree. I don't think he could take us further tactically, but he did his job in building that culture that I think we needed first. Because we were just a sorry soccer nation. initially, right? And we needed that kind of injection to really make us believe. And he brought this camaraderie into the team that it was amazing. And you saw it within the squad. Like, they were willing to die for each other on that pitch. And Herdman instilled that. So I'm very thankful for what he's done. And I hope we get a top gaffer to take us to that next level tactically, because we need it.
Yeah, we need someone to build off of what he left off, right? Mm-hmm. That's gonna be tough.
It's gonna be very, and like, what will he do at TFC? what do you think's gonna happen,
Bro.
I don't know if he's gonna take them out of last.
Yeah, Miami's already getting out of that rut. So
Yeah.
And they have games in hand too.
Yeah, TFC is a problem, man. That's a problem.
everything Canadian's a problem right now.
Yeah.
Well,
But you know what? Well, no, I think TFC has that motivation. Like, MLSE has done some good things with that club, and I think they have the motivation. I think this shows it, right? They need a culture reset. That's very clear.
Yeah.
I've gone to many games this year, and it's been brutal to watch. You know what I mean? But still, yeah, I think he'll do good things there, and I think he needs that. And I think they need a full full reset. I think yeah, I don't know. I think Canada's an attractive job, man. I think if any managers are out there listening, like, just come through. You know what I mean? Like, we got good
Sell the
shawarma.
job.
We got good shawarma out here. We got some jerk chicken. You could get both if you want to. Just load up Uber Eats and you're surprised. You know what I mean? Like,
Anything.
no, I mean, it's a great place to be. Honestly, I think like the talent is here, and I think it's an attractive job. I think it just takes somebody to recognize that and come through. I got a text today that said, "Oh man, does this mean Phil Neville's gonna coach Canada?"
I hope not.
I've heard some rumors.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't hate on it, but I just think we need to aim higher. And I know that there's some troubles in the federation, but I think they just need to get their act together and let's see where we go, man. I think it's an attractive job, so come through.
Hopefully Canada prevails, right?
No, I agree. I think on paper it's super attractive. Young team, dynamic talent that's playing in Europe. And not too many expectations, right?
Exactly.
Like, Canada soccer is not going to expect you to come and win the World Cup or even make a semi. They just want you to come, build a culture, make it out of the group stage potentially.
Yeah.
So
Get a win.
Yeah.
it's attractive, right?
Yeah.
So maybe until they find out how the federation's doing.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
on paper, super attractive. So
Yeah.
I agree. Hopefully they can find that gaffer, maybe like a Dutch gaffer or something. Someone that's like a tactical
Genius.
like a wizard.
Yeah.
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 A nice little wizard. What? Tactical wizard, man.
We
I
need a
wanna see
wizard,
some-
guys.
Yeah, we
We
need a
need
wizard.
to find a wizard.
We need something, man. But
I know you were a Herdman now. What do you think about the news?
Me?
Yeah.
It's about time. What was you waiting for, really?
wow.
Right after the World Cup, like, was it? What are you waiting for? What, like 2 games after the World Cup they played?
No, I don't think they did. That's where they had.
Oh no, they had a couple. They had a couple.
No,
They
the
had
Nations Cup. The Nations
Yeah,
Cup.
the
Nations Cup.
Nations League.
They went to the
yeah.
final, yeah.
The collapse.
Should we
I
have
was
won
watching
that?
you guys watch it.
should
I was in Mexico at that time. I was watching
Yeah.
you guys watch it, man.
Should we have won that game?
Maybe.
100%. We should have won that game.
Right.
Yeah.
So like, I feel like it's time. Like,
It's
move
a,
on.
it's a good
like,
time.
We were at a high,
Yeah.
right? And maybe it plateaued a little bit. I feel like it was kind of like starting to crash a little bit. Especially with this whole federation thing. I feel like we need a little bit of a restart in general, like top to bottom.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, like, the players are the players, but it's kind of a little bit of a reset. And it is time for a little bit of a change, right?
Yeah.
So
And it's good to do it now. You have a year until Copa America. Next year you have 3 years to the World Cup. So you have time to build with someone. And I think you just need to make sure it's the right choice, right? So
wasn't there news that we're not playing any friendlies in the upcoming window?
They don't
Because
have-
we kind of have the funds for it. Or
Yeah.
something like that.
but
Crazy, man.
All right, guys, we're starting GoFundMe.
Yeah.
Please
For
watch the link
friendlies,
below.
Yo, you know who we should get is Marco Bielsa, man. We should get Bielsa.
He'd be a cool manager, but
That'd be
crazy.
cool,
Yeah.
bro.
Those
Like,
guys are
that'd be,
running.
the way they
no,
be
like
pressing.
let's get
Oh, man.
everyone going, man. You know what I mean?
Can the Canadian
Like,
players handle that though?
I think
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
man. They need to, dude. We play in the winter, like,
Yeah.
I
yeah, I'd
guess.
hope
you
so.
know.
I'd hope so. They need something. They need a spark. A manager that has a spark in him.
I want a manager who doesn't stand during a game. That's the manager I want.
Yeah.
He's always crouching.
Sitting on the cooler.
Yeah.
He's always thinking about what's next. Well, Herdman was always thinking too, man. He always had that AirPod in. He always had something cooking.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think like we all said, I think he played his part, and I think, man, some of those vibes during that qualifying run. I remember watching some of those games down here.
They were good.
It was insane, man. When Adekugbe scored that goal.
But like you said, like if they would have waited till before Copa America or after Copa America, like it's already too late.
Yeah, it's too late. Especially if you're gonna get someone to come in and build something, you need time to find a playing style. It's like a club team where you have week in, week out to develop something. You're not going to be seeing these players every week, right? So you need good 2-3 years to develop a playing style, to develop an identity, to try to attract some dual nationals to come play for your team now before the World Cup comes. Because if you're getting players in 2026 to come play for Canada, it might be a little too late to get them to gel into the system and everything like that. You need to start getting that camaraderie built now. Because that was the only thing that really brought Canada to the World Cup, was that camaraderie of players and the way they all vibed together. They all fought for each other. They all played for each other. That's still going to be there, but it's going to take time to build that together. You can't just have a bunch of fresh new faces coming in. No one knows how to play with each other. So I think 3 years, you give yourself a chance to maybe do something good. You have a guaranteed World Cup is great. Maybe you get a win. I think that's the goal for whoever comes in, whether it's someone that's coming in from the CPL that maybe you're just giving a chance that's going to, take a huge leap in terms of that, or if it's like a big name and you're going to splash some cash at someone. But I think either way, whoever it is has time, which I think is the most important thing, in my opinion.
You guys think I feel like Herdman had more options than TFC. You guys think TFC is the right move?
He wants to keep it Canadian.
Yeah.
He could definitely have gone anywhere, probably a lot of teams in the MLS. Even a European job might have popped up. Maybe.
Potentially. But I mean, MLS right now, it's growing.
Yeah.
Right. And it's like, he was here for the growth of North American soccer. I think he maybe even has an affinity for Canada. Right. And I think, why not stay in Toronto? I mean, it's whether here, Montreal, or Vancouver, you have to choose one of the three if you're going to be playing. And Toronto's really the only one that has an opening right now. And you can tell that the owners are willing to invest. So, I mean, it's a good place, right, to be, especially if you want to bring in players. They're going to spend money, which is good. A city he's probably already well-known, comfortable with. He's been here probably hundreds of times as well. So
I think people are happy with it. I think TFC fans are happy with it for sure.
Yeah.
For
Huge
sure.
upgrade.
I mean, it's about time. A little bit of change in the club. It's been rough.
Bradley was a mess. But, Herdman out, Herdman in. I want to go back to the Premier League because I completely forgot about West Ham replacing Declan Rice with 3 under-the-radar signings. Alvarez, Ward-Prowse, and Kudus.
Ward-Prowse is so good.
I think they upgraded hard on their team. They're undefeated right now.
That's why a lot of people are saying West Ham actually fleeced Arsenal. They rebuilt their whole midfield from dropping one guy, right?
Because it's another. What was the thing that Tottenham did? What was that saying? That
Ewing theory?
Yeah, because it's kind
It
of
could
the same
apply.
thing.
Same thing.
Yeah.
Best player left. They brought in a huge talent in Kudus, who thrived at the last World Cup that he played in.
Mm-hmm.
They brought in Ward-Prowse, proven Premier League player.
Exactly.
I don't know how he went for so.
Yeah, he's not under the radar kind of guy.
No.
He's
Those set pieces.
They got him for cheap though. They got him for like 30, I think.
Yeah.
And then Alvarez, someone that's going to get the job, will do his job. They could possibly push for a European spot.
It's not get
Maybe.
crazy.
I'm gonna say top
Let's
4.
not get crazy, bro.
No, not
I thought you were gonna say champions.
No, not top 4, not top 4. But
So Europa?
maybe Europa, maybe,
5 or 6?
maybe Conference League.
No. Mid-table.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I like
Look,
the talent.
They did the right thing. I think they did the right thing. They had to sell Rice. I mean, I think I think West Ham. This is not the first time West Ham have done this. So they kind of know what they're doing. That's their system. It's kind of like Tottenham did it before too. I think it's the right move for Tottenham. I'm glad the way West Ham kind of responded. It makes it exciting. They didn't just the owners didn't just walk away with that money. They reinvested it into the club. That's great. Good for them, man. I watch their game. They're fun. They're fun to watch. I like Ward-Prowse. I like watching. Anytime there was a free kick, You know.
Something's gonna happen.
Gotta keep your eyes
Exactly.
peeled, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And Jared Bowen is underrated in my opinion. Like that
yeah.
guy's unreal.
He's
Dude.
fantastic.
Goal was really nice. His first touch and
Yeah.
like just a little sneaker touch into the net.
Sneaker touch.
Yeah, it was like he just dropped in just a little tap.
Yeah,
Right in the bottom corner.
unbelievable control, dude. Like
Yeah.
he was, in my opinion, one of the probably their best player last season,
Yeah.
and even maybe the season before. But like he was, yeah, he's they've got a good team, man. I think they can push, but I don't. Yeah, mid table, I think still, but.
There's just so
Maybe
many
8 or 9.
Yeah, there's so many good teams. Like I know they made good signings, but you still have Brighton, you still have Newcastle,
Yeah, it's
Liverpool,
tough.
Chelsea, like Villa too, like have made great signings. So there's just so many teams that I think are in that same echelon of talent that like, you know, having like a great transfer window like that like doesn't really do it for you anymore. They almost got relegated last year, dude.
Yeah.
They barely made it out of the relegation zone. Sure, they made some good signings, but we can't get too crazy. Like, you know, European places are tough, especially in the Premier League. Like Newcastle right now is probably not even guaranteed European places.
Yeah.
Newcastle, they're not guaranteed European places. Like they're not. They have 3 points from 3 games.
Yeah.
Really 3 point? Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that's right.
Right? They lost. They bottled that game hard against Liverpool.
Yeah.
Right? They beat Villa in that first game. Sure, they looked strong,
And
but
City.
like, and they lost against City. Obviously, those are some tough games to play. But like last season, they weren't dropping that game against Liverpool. Like they were a little bit more well drilled, and I think this year, like it's gonna be tough for them because they're gonna have European football too. They haven't made a crazy amount of signings either. They don't have a lot of depth. I'm not really confident in some of the players that they're bringing off the bench to be able to take them through both Champions League and fighting for European places in the Prem. That's me though. I don't know.
There was a lot of big clubs in for Kudus.
Yeah.
You know how he ended up at West Ham. This is not the first time West Ham has done that either. Like
They just sneak in.
they sneak in.
Yeah.
Man. I don't know what they like. Must be the wages. I don't know what it
Yeah.
is, but they figure it out.
The bubbles.
It's the fans.
The bubbles,
They
man.
got the irons.
I mean, well, you're still they're based in London.
Yeah,
No, so you're still living in London, right? It's like a nice.
but I
city
think
to
Chelsea
live
was
in, right?
in on him. Chelsea
Yeah.
was
We're
in.
in Arsenal as well.
Arsenal was in.
But
Like,
Tottenham was
it
in.
died down after, and then West Ham came in all of a sudden.
at West Ham, you know you're gonna play. You know you're probably
That's
gonna
the
be
thing.
one of
He's
that
seeing
one of
minutes.
those guys,
That's a good
Getting
point.
minutes.
right?
sense.
You
That's a good
you
point.
play 1 or 2 seasons there, then maybe you're making a move to City, then you're making a move to Arsenal.
That's a good point.
right?
That's a good point.
Because if you go to one of those teams too early, you can fizzle out.
Yeah.
We've seen it happen so many times before,
Pepe.
right? Yeah, Pepe. Nico Pepe, right?
Was Nico Pepe that bad?
I thought he was talented, man. I
Because
think
if
it
you
was
look at his stats, like he was better than like half of, or
No.
maybe,
Yeah,
maybe
but
all
if you
of
look at his
United.
price tag and then the performance that came with that,
his price tag
Yeah.
is low nowadays.
Yeah,
It was too early.
I think. I mean, Arsenal's shambles when he came into the club.
Yeah.
Like, price tags are price tags, man. Like, I don't put too much weight on that. Like, that was a weird one. But I think he's talented. He did well. He did well in my opinion. For the time that he was there. He wasn't spectacular, but like he had some good games and whatnot. But super talented. But I think I read once like he's kind of a player that like kind of like Ozil, like he needs to feel loved. You know what I mean? Yeah, he just needs to feel like he needs to feel liked. You know what I mean?
he just needs a
And-
hug, huh?
Yeah, he just
Did
needs a
you
hug.
guys?
every
Did
once
you
in a
guys? I'm not
while.
sure. Like this is out of like way out of it. But there's this thing in like the MLB Major League Baseball where one of the players was just doing awful for like a long run, and I think rather than bashing him, one of the fans came out and said instead of bashing him when he goes up into plate, like cheer for him, clap him out.
Yeah.
And apparently, like, dude, his game changed.
Really?
His game
Dude.
changed.
It's man management.
And
sounds
he's
like
top.
pity,
He's
no?
like top one of the top hitters
No,
now.
man. Some people just need
Dude,
to be
it's
like. Some
true.
people like some people like a compliment.
need a hug
You know,
back.
you know what I mean. Some people are like ice cold, where they're like,
Yeah.
whatever, man. Like, or some people like. I don't think you need to give a guy like Holland a compliment, for example. He doesn't care about that. like,
Doesn't
did you
mean
like?
anything to him.
Did you guys watch like his celebration? Even his celebration, he was just like it was a sigh of relief
Yeah,
after
he
he
was
missed
relieved.
it.
He's like,
He's like, oh, finally I scored. Like I should have scored like 10 before
Yeah.
this. Like I think
Should
we
have
talked.
5.
Yeah, like it's insane. Like but Arsenal's team was a shambles at that time. Like so much change.
Yeah.
The organization was a mess. Like I think like there's rumors that he might even stay at Arsenal.
Really?
There's rumors that because he's young enough.
But didn't he get dropped from the team though?
He did, but I think there's rumors because we have roster spot available now. Yeah, so I mean the by Friday we'll know whether he can get registered.
Interesting.
Yeah, because he got dropped off the Champions League team, was it? And then I think that he's in like the roster for like the league team.
Yeah,
but still, even then-
I don't really know the details, but like there's rumors, and I would be one of the people, one of the Arsenal fans that says, okay, you know what? Like he's done his loan, he's done what he had to do. Like he's had some time away from the team. Maybe that reinvigorates a guy and be like, oh, hey, look, you have a clean slate.
Yeah, I know. I think it was he wasn't in the preseason team.
That's it, preseason team. Yeah, he wasn't in the preseason team. No, he was training on his own. But like, man, you know what? We need the depth, so let's give him a chance. You know, maybe he'll play right back. Who knows?
Hey, who knows? Yeah.
Maybe that's the spot.
Reinvigorate a new position, huh?
Inverted,
Who knows,
inverted on the
man?
left.
Who
Yeah.
knows?
Up in the middle.
The Zinchenko role on the right side.
Yeah. Crazier things.
Yo,
have
how
happened.
many roles has Pep created? You know what I mean? You would have never ever thought of signing players that can play like certain positions. Like maybe, not saying Arteta's at that level. Like the comparisons, but maybe he has something to offer. Let's see. He's talented.
It's crazy. Did you guys see the interview with Zinchenko? I don't know if it was in the crazy interview, but like he was just kind of explaining his role.
Yeah, I did.
Like
watch
he's talking
that.
about how like once he gets to that middle, like the only thing once he's in there, he knows that like he dragged that player with him.
Yeah,
So like he did his job already. Like his job's done. Like he already pulled that player with him. So like all he has to do is just kind of play the role.
yeah, and he
Because
has
at the
to
end of the day,
throw balls.
end of the day, he doesn't have to expect who is it on the left side, Martinelli, to have to drop and cover now.
Yeah,
So end of the day, like he did his job. Like the players not picking up Zinchenko because Zinchenko's obviously getting to the middle is going to be an option going forward, but no one's covering him because there's really no player to pick him up. But no, it's crazy. Yeah, like that role is.
the systems
the
look
game.
complicated when you look at them, but then I think they've simplified them for the players. Otherwise, they wouldn't work. Like the players do one or two things that they have to do, and then it kind of works. You know what I mean? So I think they've been given clear instructions. I mean,
Yeah, just go in there, go into the midfield, do your job, and you're done. Like
Yeah.
all the other work is worried about the coaches, managing staff because they know how they're playing their system, right? So, no, it's
Yeah.
good football.
Yeah, that interview was with Ferdinand, the one you're
Yeah.
talking about.
Oh, nice.
And Ferdinand, he went like blank, like he actually couldn't understand.
I noticed that too.
Yeah, what Zinchenko was talking
What are you
about.
talking about, mate?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shows the level of like tactical awareness that's improved since
Yeah.
Ferdinand played.
He was like, he was reading his paper and going to the next question. I'm like, yo, does this guy even know how to interview someone?
Yeah.
Like, he's like, all right, so what about Ukraine, bro? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm like, dude, like, he just explained, like,
One of the best positions in the world right now.
exactly. Yeah, I mean,
Football's changed. I feel like nowadays, like you're kind of seeing it every like 5 years now. Like the wing back role is gone. It's now the inverted role. Back in the day, like you're playing left back, right back,
And you're
center back,
holding it
right
down.
mid, left mid,
Yeah.
center mid, and
Four,
striker.
two, bro.
Like in and out kind of thing. And everyone's playing the same thing, so you don't have to worry about it. You don't have to like try something different. You know it's gonna get the work done if you have the players.
Yeah.
Yeah. Would you say you've seen? I have a question that goes off these tactics thing. Would you say that we lost a lot of talent through the years? Like,
What?
there was like a lot more like big name players back in the day. Like let's say Dino's era. There's like Eto'o, Henry, like all so and so, Pirlo, Gattuso, all these
Would
guys.
you say it's because more
Now
of
there's less.
they're
Do you
playing
think
more
this
like
is-
they're playing more like that role instead
Yeah.
of like trying to change their style.
This
of
has to do with
football
tactics.
to evolve to like
They're turning
adapt.
to
that's a really
robots.
good question.
So you're saying there's less individuality now?
Because they
Like
can't.
less expression?
If they don't fit the style, they can't really play anymore. Like you can't really be a solo player anymore. Besides, obviously, one of the few players here and there.
So players can't express themselves because of the tactics and how their
Yeah.
team wants them to play, basically.
Yeah,
Like, because
it's-
of that,
you
there's
think-
less.
Like pretty much like that Lukaku role, like that guy's like those roles are done now. Like whoever's like
think?
Lukaku striker, like you saw those in every team kind of like a guy who's
Big man.
like up top playing that wall pass. Like you don't really see that. You need a striker who kind of plays with their feet now. You need to start adapting like any position.
Yeah.
Like it's tough to see like magic moments of like like a solo player like going through like 3 or 4 guys, because if they go through like 3 or 4 guys, the coach might like give them shit or say no, like you're supposed to play this way, this way, this way.
Yeah.
Hey, look, you know my answer to that question.
Yeah, we talked about this
I
before.
100% agree with you.
Yeah.
There's less freedom, less individuality, more robotic, more textbook. Like and that's driven by a coach like Pep. Successful, of course, but a byproduct of that is players aren't individually thriving in terms of creativity and flair and stuff like that. Like when Pep is splitting the whole field into quadrants and you have to occupy a certain quadrant and you have to take the ball past the ball, which is fine. It's tiki-taka. It's a style of play. But, you know, it's a dying breed. Like, for example, a Neymar leaving Europe, it's the last of a dying breed. It's someone with flair, individuality, talent, skill, who will pull out a rainbow out of his ass. I mean, you see it. You look at a rainbow now, you're going to get a yellow card. Because the players are going to complain on the other team. Like, what? This isn't the football I grew up watching. So, hey, you know how I feel about it. It makes me sick. But
Henry was in an interview and he was saying there was this one game, like a couple of first games that he came into the Barca team, and he's playing with Messi, whatnot, and he just kind of did his own thing, took the ball, went on the opposite side of the field, played 1-2 with Messi, took the ball, scored, and he was on top of the world. He's like, yo, my first game, or like first couple games, and he's like, he was just like super motivated. He got taken off at half, and he was shocked. He's like, yo, why am I getting taken off at half? And Pep said, you didn't do this, you didn't do this, you didn't do this, you didn't play the role. And he's like, what are you talking about? And but what's weird is these players kind of respect that too, because they know it leads to like long-term success.
Yeah.
But I think you need to have individuality. I'll tell you one thing, like, I think in that era, like, I mean, Messi played in that era, and Ronaldo played in that era, and there was a lot of good players that played in that era. Are there less good players? I mean, you look at Haaland, like, he plays in a Pep team. He's scoring 50 goals a season. I think, like, if you're great, you're great. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I just think you may see it less. Like, even on the Arsenal team, you had, like, guys like that had, like, I think 12 to 15 goals each. It was balanced. Mm-hmm. But I think you see it less. But if you're great, I think you're gonna rise above the rest. I don't think anything has changed from that point.
Yeah, well, you can even see Pep too giving Haaland shit, even though he scored one or two goals.
Yeah, but can he take him off?
No, but like, you know what I mean? He's still giving the guy shit, but he scored 1 or 2 goals that first half.
He takes him off sometimes and he always gets cheese. He has 2 goals and Pep will take him off. 1 goal away from a hat trick.
But that's probably the reason why like his city team is doing so well. Because at the end of the day, like whoever you bring in, like they obviously need to be a talented footballer. They don't have to be the biggest superstar. But if they can know, if you know it's a player who can literally listen to a manager and play that role he wants to and not, disobey or try to do too much. Grealish, he came into the squad, he did his job, and he's doing it well.
Yeah.
He's not trying to do too much. You go out there, do your job, play your role, get the fouls, and you're done.
Yeah.
Right?
That's his role, pretty
you don't
much.
have You don't have city players kind of trying to be superstars. Mars was a little bit, but then he started transitioning back into that role. Like, just do your stuff. Like, you're not. Like,
I think it's an 80-20 rule. Like, I think you gotta be able to show what you got. I think as an athlete, like as a you got to do what you got to do what makes you unique. I think out there. I mean, you got to figure out a way, right? Yeah. But I'm telling you, like, if you're great, you're gonna score those goals. You're gonna do your job, right? Like, we talk a lot about goal scorers in this kind of spot, but like. I don't see us talking a lot about like the defenders and these guys who like make tackles maybe they shouldn't do and whatnot and take some chances and things like that. But we don't hear about them as much. But yeah, I mean, I think you guys are right. But I think the great always rise above the rest.
No, the way I look at this conversation, who's inspiring the kids? Who are kids going on YouTube searching up? And their eyes are just widening.
Mbappe, bro.
Yeah, exactly.
That's where my
a player like that who has a ton of freedom to do whatever he wants at PSG. He's not limited in his skill set. Are you like? I see a ton of kids with Haaland jerseys.
Yeah,
but that's also due to the success, the numbers. But like, does Haaland really like get you amped? Like as a kid, like you're being exposed to the game for the first time.
No.
Like, is this the player you really want to like emulate? No. You know what I mean? Like, like in our era, you were looking up to like Ronaldinho. You were looking up to, of course, Messi, Ronaldo. Even guys like Zidane, like dancing in the midfield, Figo, R9, players like that. Guys that really changed the game and inspired and took their own spin to it. And you see now it's different. Like one of my favorite quotes from one of my favorite gaffers, Ancelotti. He's like, the defenders, I tell them what to do. I prepare them. I get them set. The attackers, they do what they want. They have the freedom. They make the decisions. So, and I think that's a great quote, and I would want that for my gaffer personally. The attackers need freedom to explore and inspire and create. The defensive structure, leave that to the gaffer. So I like when Ancelotti said that, and that's just my stance on the debate.
Yeah, I do like that a lot as well. I think. See, but there's a difference though. Like some players need the tactics, and some players don't. Like someone like Vinny, he doesn't need tactics. Just let him play, because he's gonna go around 3 or 4 guys
Exactly.
and make a play. Like I think someone like Grealish, although he was a star at Aston Villa, he needs tactics to thrive at a bigger club like City.
Yeah.
Which has happened. So it's tough. I think if Mahrez had more freedom, he would have been a bigger player than we see him as today.
Well, he did at Leicester.
And yeah, we've seen it. I think if he went to like, let's just say Real Madrid and he had the freedom, he would have been a star. But yeah, I think some players need it, some players don't. But yeah,
I guess it depends where you play now too, right?
Yeah, depends on the team, the type of player you are as well too, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like people idolize Haaland or look up to Haaland because what wins you games? Goals. People look for goals when they're watching a game most of the time, you know? That's what kids could be drawn to, right?
Yeah, but do those highlights stand the test of time? Do they live on forever? Tap in highlights?
I think celebrations do.
Yeah, celebrations, yeah, but
Yeah.
those highlights don't live on forever. You're not gonna see like Haaland tap in goal or like one of his classic goals and like a best moments of the decade kind of compilation, you know?
It's like
He's only
watching-
21 though, bro. Like,
Yeah,
he's still young.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
I
of
think he'll
course.
be able to. I think he's kind of emulates his game around Zlatan a bit, but
Yeah.
No, I don't hate Allen. It's just that's the example I
Sounds
use.
like you hate him.
He's had a couple
no, but you're right.
worldies.
You're 100% right.
Yeah.
He's had a couple worldies.
I remember quite a few.
But they'll remember those moments where, like, instead of the goal, he scored just the moments. Like, he scored 3 goals in one game. He scored, the most goals in the one league coming in. He scored, coming back from that game, they were 3-0 down or something. I forgot who they're facing, and then they're coming back like 4-3.
Yeah.
Right? Like, those are the moments you're remembering now. You're not remembering, like, individuality.
Is
It's
it
more
kind
like
of like-
team-based.
Like an Alan Shearer though. Like
I don't know. I don't really know about that. Like, do you remember the top scorer of the Champions League from the year 2000? No, you can't name it off rip. 2001? No. Can you name it off rip? No. 2002? Can you name it off rip? No. You remember moments? Yeah. You don't necessarily remember records unless it's like the top record, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, you remember Lewandowski's 4 goals against Real Madrid. Iconic moments. Records, yeah, like we know Alan Shearer's top scorer, but we don't necessarily remember like the records kind of below that.
Yeah.
Or like individual season records. Like some stand the test of time. Like the Haaland goal, the Premier League season record. I'm sure that'll stand the test of time, but not all records do. I'd say moments have more weight than records.
Yeah, I think so too.
Moments live forever, man.
Well, like the World Cup final, Mbappe, it was literally, you could bill it Mbappe versus Messi.
Yeah.
Like the amount of, they literally went toe to toe. Like,
Yep.
what a crazy moment for the world of football. Like,
House
Yeah,
crazy.
that's one
you
of
know
the
what I
best
mean?
finals.
Like, and both like killer on penalties and scored like amazing goals.
Ridiculous
Both had
goals,
everything, just
man.
had everything. So I mean, Mbappe, I still think, like I said, like if you have freedom and you're good, you'll be good.
Nice.
I think coaches will evolve too. I think coaches will evolve again and kind of allow for a bit more freedom, because I think the coaches need to evolve and differentiate their game too. Like Pep is not the same Pep that he was at Barca. It's very different. Like you have different type of players. Like he's probably thinking, man, I don't got a guy like Messi who like at any point in time can distribute the ball wherever he wants, however he wants.
Yeah.
I think Messi had complete freedom, whatever he wanted to do.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
100%.
So like I don't know if it. Yeah, but you have to be kind of at that level, I guess,
Yeah.
to get that freedom. I mean, let's see.
Yeah, Pep will never have a player like Messi ever again. So
Yeah.
Yeah, but the game changes, football changes, so you're right. Gotta adapt, teams gotta adapt. But in terms of great moments, iconic moments we're gonna remember forever, I think this podcast is one of them.
I know.
Excellent chat. Went over some great topics. Appreciate you coming
Hey,
through
man, thanks for
Yeah,
having me
it's
again,
not
man.
in the
right.
stew with all the
Yeah.
boys.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, for sure.
Absolute blast. And for those that made it to the end, please let us know. Thank you for tuning in. Drop a like, drop a comment, let us know what you thought, and be the culture.
The culture, boys.
Culture, man.
peace. See ya.
I'll sign up to the zone, man. I'll see a lot of Al Hilal. a lot of moments in the Saudi league coming up, and Neymar.
It's supposed to play on Friday.
He's supposed to be playing Friday? You guys